happens when you take the basic concept of A Nightmare on Elm Street, but switch out Freddy Krueger for a heavily bruised ballsack with derpy-ass teeth? You get 1988's The Brain, and my god, it's quite the doozy. Brought to us by director Ed Hunt, who also did a PC FMV game in 1995 called The Jungle Book: The New Adventures of Mowgli, which is about Mowgli fighting an evil wizard with the head of a dragon in a cave, which sounds so unbelievably stupid that I really have to try to track it down. It tells the story of a dude named Jim Magilowski. I don't know, I think that's how it's pronounced. Honestly, as soon as this movie was over, it basically like erased itself from my subconscious, and I forgot half the shit I just watched. Anyway, he's your typical Marty McFly wannabe. The cool kid with the do, doesn't take shit from no teacher, drops pure concentrated sodium into a real rank-ass looking toilet kind of guy. That's a weird angle, by the way. The fuck? And since they can't deal with his stupid bullshit anymore, they decide to send him off to a place called the Psychological Research Institute, or the PRI, run by Dr. Blake, played by David Gale and his weird creepy smile. Yes, that David Gale from Reanimator. Seriously though, that smile, man. But before they do any of that, Jim has enough time for one more epic prank. I especially love how the teachers and parents get up and shake hands in like silence, and then just stare at each other awkwardly, while Jim busts a nut of super glue on the teacher's chair. Very cool. I mean, it's pretty obvious you could, like, why isn't there, like, no background talking? Like, they're just staring at each other. I know that they shot it so that the actor had enough time to put glue on the seat, but it just looks weird, man. So aside from running the Research Institute, Dr. Blake also has a side hustle as a TV show host that hypnotizes anyone who watches a show called Independent Thinkers. Sounds like Twitter. And basically doing whatever the brain wants. And those that fail to be hypnotized end up hallucinating until they die. It's not very cash money. Actually, it reminds me a lot of like Halloween 3 Season of the Witch with its whole control the masses through television shtick. This came out after Halloween 3, so they probably took the idea from it. Eventually, the brain decides to go goblin mode and attacks his hot blonde assistant. Literally just swallows her whole, somehow, even though it didn't have a mouth or opening anywhere. I mean, it does now, but I mean, it didn't before, whatever. And you just know by the way Dr. Blake is smiling at it here that in the back of his mind, he's thinking up a way to fuck that thing. Wouldn't you? Don't lie. Don't lie. But we don't really get to spend much time with the brain, because Jim bails out of the research facility and ends up having a mental breakdown at a fast food joint, and it's fucking hilarious. What's even better is when this cop is trying to stop him, and then this random dude just runs. I know he's the orderly, we know that, but to the cop, he's just this random dude. He just runs in with a needle and like stabs Jim and then carries his unconscious body out into his car, and just takes off with him, and the cop's like, this is fine. No question in it. Nothing. The tax dollar's hard at work there. And for a movie called The Brain, you'd think there'd be more of it, but there actually really isn't much. A good, like, 30% of this movie's runtime is just Jim either walking away while being chased, driving away while being chased, or running away while being chased. Seriously, there is so goddamn much chasing in this movie. I don't care. I want to see the brain nom on some people. For God's sake. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves with like these crappy B movies is like when they always have to have chase sequences that like pad out the runtime. And we do get that. I mean, barely, but it does happen. Poor Willie here gets mulched on. Poor Willie. I'll never forget the weird way you said that one line that one time.
Scared your ass, didn't I?
Lest we forget. Most of the body count in the brain isn't even done by the brain. It's done by people under the influence of the brain. Like this scene where the orderly just cuts the head of the cop right off his shoulders, and like moments later, when another cop shows up, it's just like,
Hey! Hey! Magilewski killed him! Chopped his head off!
ignore that I'm the one with the axe. Or this brilliant scene where Dr. Blake convinces his wife that she needs to kill her husband because he won't watch TV with her. In the exchange, it's weird. The way this is edited, the way it's shot, it's really awkward looking.
Honey, wouldn't you like to watch Dr. Blake with me? No, you go ahead. I'm not interested.
It's that asshole Woods.
Come on.
No.
Please.
Anyway, she disembowels him with a chainsaw. Men, let that be a lesson to us all. When your partner asks you to watch Love Island or whatever those dumbass shows are, I don't watch them. Just remember this scene and you'll never miss out on a reality TV date night. And then Jim and his chick have sex, because, like, wouldn't you get all horned up after watching a bruised nutsack eat your friend and your teacher get hacked up with a chainsaw?
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
When it comes to the actual special effect of the brain, they only ever show this thing either stationary or really close up, never showing the bottom of the puppet. And that's because I imagine that you just see a dude's feet sticking out of the bottom of it, and that would be hilarious. I kind of want to see it. Honestly, of all the scenes in the movie, the highlight to me was probably the opening sequence. This chick is hallucinating that her entire room is trying to kill her. Those grabby hands, bunch of octopus tentacles, the way the room starts to like physically close in on her. It's actually pretty cool. Then her mom comes in and looks mildly annoyed after a tentacle wraps around her neck. Thing bleeds mustard. I don't know what's up with that. You'll never guess how Jim defeats the ultimate evil of Dr. Blake and saves the town from his hypnotic spell. He walks in on a taping of the show and sucker punches that cock in the mouth so hard that his head flies right off. And oh no, well, I don't know what he is, frankly. They never say. He's an alien? Maybe he's like a body synat. I don't know. Now I believe even more that he probably did horrible things to the brain's mouth, if you catch my drift. This is a bizarre, stupid movie, but it's stupid in a fun kind of way. This thing's not winning any awards, but I've seen a lot worse. And hey, what other movie can you think of that ends with a warning not to stick sodium in water at the end? Like, fuck, I was gonna go do that, and then they told me not to, so phew, thank goodness. If you made it to the end, how you doing? I'm gonna shout out the Patreon. If you want to subscribe to the Patreon, you can. It's like $1 a month. Helps me put more time into the channel. I appreciate everybody who does. You get access to exclusive videos. Shin Godzilla's up there right now. Links are in the description down below. Helps the channel out. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.